So apparently the schools are back this week, which for me just means less idiot children in my way when I'm on my lunch break. For a lot of young girls it means a return to the sexist education system. So this week we're going to be talking about whether or not feminism should be taught in schools. So I was super lucky. I went to an all-girls school, which is, really horrible for the gender binary, but really, really good in terms of really kind of strong, well-spoken, respected female role models. But even in an all-girls school with like a female headmistress and like a mostly female teaching staff, we still had like the sexist pervy teachers who would make inappropriate jokes and condescend to us all the time. From a very young age I felt pressured to feel complimented when I was catcalled, and pressured to stop wearing baggy band t-shirts and instead dress more feminine. We were constantly reminded that the boys' school that was twinned with our school was a better school and that was for smarter pupils, male pupils. I was told that I was frigid because at the tender age of 14 I lost my virginity, and apparently that wasn't soon enough for a lot of the people I hung out with. The first time I felt feminist fury, like within my bones fury, was when I was 13, and it wasn't read from a book, it was a personal experience. Basically, we were at a rancid gig, 13, like I say, and a guy who was much older than us puts his hand up my friend's skirt. She was a little older than me, 14, and so I round on him and I throw my glass of ice down his shirt. I did that entirely on impulse, but really wasn't prepared, was woefully underprepared for sexism in everyday society. So yeah, it would be really, really good to teach feminism in schools and about other sort of social justice movements as well, because then you would be giving kids the tools to interrogate their identity, to see the oppressions around them, to be able to stand up for themselves and defend themselves, and ultimately kids would be better prepared for the world around them and be able to kind of build up a resistance and an anger and a sort of plan, a coping strategy for dealing with that, and then hopefully dismantle patriarchy along the way. However, if this coalition government has taught us anything, it's that schools have agendas, and they are ultimately patriarchal institutions. Look how close we got to having abstinence-only sex education for young girls in schools under Nadine Dorries. We have to ask ourselves that if feminism was going to be taught in schools, who would be doing the teaching, who would be setting the curriculum, in what time frame? I mean, teachers are really fucking busy as it is. And so without dismantling the entire structure of patriarchy and smashing it into bits in the ground, which ultimately would love to do, we have to think of other ways, because you can't use those sexist institutions to kind of navigate through that, I don't think. I think the emphasis is on women and their allies to really set an example to younger women, young girls, young boys, everyone. Just generally, call out oppression and sexism when you see it, even if it is just kids on a bus larking about and being banterific. Tell them that they are wrong. Set a strong example. We could set up workshops and free schools and playgroups in order to, kind of just deconstruct the gender binary a bit. We could teach parents about feminism so that they can be better equipped in order to talk about it with their kids, so that we're putting less pressure onto teachers who ultimately, it's not their job. It's not, teachers have enough of a job as it is without also ladling on all of the social justice stuff as well. And if their hearts aren't truly in it, and we know that there are plenty of conservative anti-feminist teachers out there, if their hearts aren't in it, then they're going to do a shitty ass job, and then feminism will get an even worse rep. So that's me. I'm sorry that I haven't been around again. It's been a heavy month, you guys. So yeah, see you next week.